You're watching Kurt Thompson's Bearded video series. Kurt's Bearded series. I thought this would be relevant to a lot of people out there. I've been using Fiverr now for about a year, maybe a little bit longer than a year. And I've come to love to hate Fiverr, and it's definitely a love-hate relationship. I love and hate Fiverr. I mean, it's black and white, folks. Have you used Fiverr yet? And by the way, it's spelled with 2 R's, Fiverr.com, Fiverr. Now, I've gone there for a couple of different reasons: to send in some audio, for example, that have backed up some videos and can have some people tweak it. I've had a couple of transcriptions done from there. I've tried to get a backing track or two. Notice I said tried. So I'm tweaking to some videos to make the video look a little bit better. Just different things like that. And I gotta tell you, okay, here, let me tell you what I love about Fiverr. The price and the access. I mean, I can access alleged professionals in photography and videography, audio, mixing, all that kind of stuff, editing. I can access that really, really quickly. In fact, if you look at the picture for my YouTube channel, it's me in my pink shirt last year when I recorded part of the scenes for my MacArthur Park. I'm kind of down like this. I actually had someone from Fiverr take that picture and make it into a nice banner. Because the way I was doing it wasn't coming out right, but they did it in less than an hour. I mean, it came out just really, really nice. That's an example of one thing that came out very, very good, and they got it done very, very quickly. So I love Fiverr for the price and the accessibility. You can get right to somebody, they can start right away working on a project for you. Now here's what I hate about it, and this is a pretty big hate. Many times you're going to have to cancel, they call it a gig. You're going to have to cancel a gig because the person couldn't do it the way you wanted. They couldn't even do it the way it was spelled out in the description of what you wanted. So it's not ambiguous. It's not like you told them something and they didn't understand it. It's outlined in your request and they couldn't do it that way. You cancel the gig and they're an awful person, and maybe they even had bad communication with you, and you wanted to leave the appropriate feedback to let others know that, hey, this person couldn't exactly follow the directions in my gig, and also they didn't communicate timely, whatever you wanted to put. But here's what I hate about Fiverr. Once you cancel the gig, they will not allow you to leave that kind of feedback to warn other potential buyers, like yourself. That's very frustrating, because now you know that seller is going to go snare somebody else into their lair, and that other person is going to have problems too, more likely. So this has happened over and over and over again. I'm trying to give you one of the examples. Oh, what was it? I can't think right offhand, but there was one example where I had to go through like 12, 13, 14 sellers. They call them sellers. These are the pros, supposedly, that can do the photo editing and the audio editing and all this kind of different stuff. I had to go through 12, 13, or 14 of these. And when I mean go through, I mean you accept their offer of whatever it is, 25 bucks, 50, 75, $100 for that gig that you got. They can't do it right, you cancel, and you go on to the next one. And I had one out there that was very, very difficult. And what happened was, it was very frustrating that these people, now a lot of them are not native English speakers. Most of these folks are not in USA, and that might be one of the reasons that the price is low. It is definitely the reason why there is so much ambiguity in the way they come back with your alleged product that you wanted. So that's another reason you'll love and hate it. You'll hate the fact that they can't seem to understand your English that well. And by the way, who are they making the most money from? They're not making the most money from somebody over in India. That's where they are. They're not making the most money from somebody over in Bangladesh or somebody over in Iraq. They're making the money from us, Americans. We are the consumers of the world, and they're making their money from us, English speakers, yet they didn't bother to really learn the English that well. They shouldn't be on Fiverr if they can't understand the language of the people that's paying them the most. So that's an irritant. Now, the flip side of that is because they are over in some of these third world countries, like India or Bangladesh, Philippines, and some others, they do tend to charge a lot less. Now, are we taking advantage of them? No. I'm here to tell you, I've been to the Philippines 12 times. And the average worker, I'm just going to throw this out to you, because I know the average college educated worker that you see in any of the malls like Ayala Center or SM, anywhere in Manila, Cagayan de Oro, Cebu, Iloilo, it doesn't really matter, anywhere you go, they work their butt off. You have to have a college degree to get into most of these malls, and they take home $5 or $6 worth of US dollars. Now that translated to pesos would be, they make somewhere between 300 and 400 pesos a day. Folks, I'm not lying to you about that. And if you don't have a college degree, you're not likely to get into some of these nice high-class malls, and your wages are going to be down into the 100 to 150 to 200 pesos. And we're talking about working all day long. So we're not taking advantage of that. In fact, they're probably making more money by having us give them a gig. So we're not taking advantage of that. We're actually helping them out make more money. Investigate what I just told you. People in the Philippines are slaving away 10 hours and they work 6 days a week, not 5. And they bring home around 300, sometimes 400 pesos. And that's if they have a college degree. Over in Bangladesh, these garment factory workers work in horrible hot conditions, slaving away for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. I don't know if they do 6 days a week. And a lot of times they'll take home around the equivalent of US $80 a month. I mean, think about it. You're working hard labor all week long, all month long, and you make 80 bucks, 90 bucks take home for the month. So when I have a gig for them that's 20 bucks and they're going to get it done in 2 days, I'm not taking advantage of them. I've given them a week's pay for only 1 or 2 hours worth of work. Hello? I mean, this is a win-win situation. The problem, let's go back to the problem. The English and their language and their inability to comprehend what you wanted them to do. So if you're thinking you're getting something good because it's not costing you an arm and a leg, but they try to do it, they can't, then you cancel. Or they cancel. And it goes back and forth. So you do end up spending a lot of time going through many sellers to find someone that can do it. Now, What is needed, what I hate about Fiverr is they won't let you leave the appropriate public feedback. So somebody else like you won't come along and try to do the same thing with them, only to be disappointed and waste a lot of time. That is my big one for Fiverr. You can't leave feedback if the gig has been canceled, and especially if you canceled it because they don't know how to do it or they keep screwing it up. It's just frustrating not to be able to leave feedback on these people that have no clue. Right now I had someone working on doing a background or backing track for Almost Blue, Chet Baker's. And I probably should include this here, but I had the specific directions of doing Chet Baker's Almost Blue, just the background only, taking him out in the piano solo. And that solo is about 7 minutes. You can go on YouTube and see it. I wanted about 2 minutes shaved out of it, and I wanted to kind of create my own backing track that I'm going to eventually play with. I might have to show this to you. I got a guy who did everything, and his sample sounded good, but when he turned in the final product, guess what it was? It was a 1 minute MP3. So I wrote him back and said, hey, wow, what happened to my backing track? And he goes, it's perfect, isn't it? You know, you got the bass in there, the piano like you want. I said, yeah, but dude, you gave me a 1 minute song out of a 7 minute song. No, that's not it. That's not how it's going to work. He went back and spent 3 more days on it, and he came up with a 2 minute something version of Almost Blue, Chet Baker's Almost Blue. And I said, oh man, come on, now I've wasted a whole week of my time. And the guy was going to charge me 50 bucks. Which, for where this person is, I won't say, but where this person is a lot of money. Actually, it's a decent amount of money for most Americans too. So I canceled the gig. Now, I would like to be able to leave feedback on this dude, so other people like me come in and say, oh, you know, avoid this guy because he's not going to understand what you want him to do if he's going to be doing a backing track for you. He's just not going to be able to understand it. But I can't do that. So what's going to happen is he's just floating out there in La La Land, and people are going to keep using them and having the same trouble that I have. So that's one thing that I really, really hate about Fiverr. What else? The other thing about when you have to cancel a gig and the buyer or the seller won't mutually cancel with you. In other words, they're fighting canceling the gig because they really need that money. Let's face it, some of these people maybe haven't eaten all day and they really need that $10 gig you're giving them, or the $20 gig. Well, you know, I can't help that. I mean, I needed them to do what I hired them to do, and if they can't do it, I need them to cancel. And so I put in a request to cancel, and I've had several Fiverr reps question me about why did I cancel. And I say, well, I'll give you an example. Let's just give the Chet Baker thing. I say, well, the original Chet Baker song on YouTube is 7 minutes. And I wanted a backing track made out of that without Chet and without the piano solo. That's going to shave it down to 5 minutes. I told them exactly where to cut it. And so anyway, I say that to the Fiverr rep. The Fiverr rep comes back and says, well, it seemed like the seller was doing a good job. I listened to their MP3 that they sent you, and the quality was pretty decent. I wrote back to them, I said, are you an expert in music? Are you a master teacher and a professional musician? And do you play trumpet? Because if you are not, you don't really know what's going on here, and you should have seen right away that the MP3 was a minute long. The rep responds back and says, I don't like your tone of voice. I'm not a professional trumpet player, but I can hear good music when I hear it. And we need a good reason why you want to cancel this. So that's the other thing I don't like about Fiverr. is most of the time as a buyer they are not in your corner, and you get people who have no expertise in what the expertise that you have and the little niche that you're in, that you're trying to accomplish on Fiverr. You get these reps who have no clue. As to your expertise, and they're trying to bat you down for canceling a gig, and it's very, very frustrating. If you haven't already experienced that, you will if you do enough gigs on Fiverr. If you order enough gigs, in other words, you're paying enough sellers to help you do something, accomplish a task. So those are the two things that I hate about Fiverr. The reps on Fiverr, when you go to cancel a gig because someone is inept and ignorant about what you want to do, they're going to fight you and not cancel that gig, and the end result of that is, of course, they don't want to refund the money. Now, why would they not want to do that? They make a service fee of $2 every time you do something, so that's how Fiverr makes their money. So anytime you cancel a gig and they have to refund it back to your account, actually now I think they changed it. Now they still nickel and dime you for those fees. So I think even if you cancel it, they're still getting you for some of that. But that's why, and it's just very frustrating. Those are two things about Fiverr you're gonna hate. Trust me. Go do 10 gigs and watch those 10 gigs have to be canceled. Some of them you have to redo it and redo it and redo it. And after a while, you're just gonna get angry, you're gonna throw your hands up in the air, and you're gonna think, why can't these idiots understand English and do what I wanted them to do? You're gonna be upset. You're gonna grow to hate Fiverr like I have. Okay, what else about Fiverr do I love? I think I said it all, folks. But in listening to this video, at the very least, it's going to give you a heads up, so maybe you won't get as upset or irritated when all these things come your way. And you know, I mean, just imagine you have something you really want to create or something that you really want to have happen. You get someone who says they can do it all, do it easy, and then they screw it up, and you waste a whole week of your time, and you got to go back and hunt down somebody else. You're really going to get frustrated about that. And then when you need some help from the Fiverr contact and help and support, they're not going to be there for you. You're going to have to fight them tooth and nail on that. So the thing I loved about Fiverr is the accessibility and the fact that the prices are quite low. Anyway, I'm Kurt Thompson. That's my rant on why I love and hate Fiverr. I'm still going to use Fiverr, but boy, I wish there was some kind of competing service that I could find where the people could actually understand English and understand directions. I probably would go there. So you've been watching Kurt's video series. Kurt's Bearded series. Bearded. And I'll see you in the next one, my friends.